Welcome back, students. In this video, we will be doing a few practices on the topic of trigonometry. We did one or two of these before, but as I just realized you might need more practice question, I created this video. So let's say you have this triangle, and then there are four different scenarios, and I want you to solve for D under each of these scenarios. Okay, so as you know, before we start, let's talk about the properties of a right angle triangle. So when we have a right angle triangle, right, like this, first of all, the most important thing is that you can apply the hypotenuse rule. That means this, let me draw it here as a side note. So if this is a right angle triangle, so this is 90 degree, A, B, C, right? So C, it's equal hypotenuse, it's A squared plus B squared. On the other hand, for any triangle, the sum of the internal angles would be 180. That means this plus this plus this. Let me call this alpha, theta, and this. Alpha and theta and 90 degree is 180. Does it need to be specifically a right angle? No, actually any triangle. So it could be A, alpha, beta, theta. So in this triangle, alpha, beta, theta, it's also 180. So in any triangle, the sum of the internal angles would be equal to 180. Okay, keep these two properties in mind with your knowledge of trigonometry and your calculation, your calculator, of course. We want to solve this question under the first scenario. So let's say you are given this triangle, theta 1, it's given here in degrees, and then the h, it's also given, which is 3 meter, and then they want you to find the d, which is a distance from this side to the other side. Okay, now to get it started, I just want to give it some names. Give a name to my triangle. So this is A, this is B, this is C. Okay, so this side, which is right in front of my angle A, would be side A. This side would be side C. This one would be side B or D. Okay. Now I want to see, like, I will propose a solution which is really easy, but it doesn't mean that you have to follow exactly the same solution. It's up to you as long as you get the correct answer. So follow me for the answer. Okay, so this is what I suggest again. This is my way of solving it, but it's up to you. But this is the most simple one. So first scenario, theta 1 is 32. Okay, so if theta 1 is 32, this is 90 in the big triangle, right? So let me consider this big triangle again. Do it here once more. So this is 90 degree. Theta 1 is 32. And then this is your h, right? This is 90. So if this is 90, this is 32. What is the other angle in front of it? Okay, so that would be, this one would be 58, right? This would be 58. Okay, so let's see what else is given. The h is also 3. So the h is 3, but they want us to find this distance. Okay, so this is d. What I suggest here, one of the best solution the best solution and the straightforward solution I could come up with is that you could consider this triangle in black, okay, and then this triangle in, let's say, purple on this side, okay, and then, okay, so you have two triangles, black and purple, okay. For this specific angle 32, try to find the tangent. The tangent would be opposite over adjacent. And let's call this distance D1 and this distance D2. Okay, so D1 plus D2 together, they make it they make it D. Okay, so what I did, I considered two triangles. Maybe the colors are not very nice, so I just use this one. So I don't know if you can see it is purple, so I'm gonna highlight it in pink or purple, whatever you call it. So this side and this side. Okay, and I'm gonna write the tangent for these two angles. The two angles exactly on these two sides. This angle and yes, exactly. The other angle. Yes, exactly. This angle. Okay, so I have two angles and I'm gonna write the tangent, right? How you calculate the tangent. Okay, so let's say tan 32 in the black triangle would be H, okay, over D1, okay, and then I'm going to use the blue and write the tan of 58 for the pink triangle or purple triangle. And then tan of 58 would be again H over this side, which is D2, okay? So remember, in both cases, the H is how much? Yes, it's 3. D1, and then H is again 3 over D2. But remember, guys, put your calculator in degree mode and calculate tan of 32. I already calculated, so the tan of 32 would be 0.62. And then tan of 58 would be 1.6. Okay? Now, what do you end up with? From the top one, from the orange one, okay, if you consider this part, from here you can calculate D1, and from the other one, from this one, you can calculate the D2, add them together and find the D. Okay, so let's say from here I go and calculate D1. D1 would be actually 3 divided by 0.62, and then the final value would be 4.83. Okay, and from the second one, D2, okay, would be equal to 1.6 divided by 3, right, which is 0.53. Okay, now if I want to find the D, okay, that would be D1 plus D2, right? So I have to add 483 plus 53. So the D would be what? 5.36 meter. This is how you can calculate the distance, which is called D. Remember, guys, this is not the only solution, but this is like the best straightforward one. But still, it's up to you. Whatever you want to solve it, you have to come up to this answer. Okay? Now, we are not done yet. We just did one practice. Now let's do another practice, because as you know, math, it's all about practicing, and practice makes perfect. Remember, guys, when you understand the concept, you're not done yet, because you have to do a few practice. So first of all, you have to make sure you understand the concept, and then you have to do it as quickly as possible without any errors or mistake. Okay. So now the second scenario. In this one, alpha is given, which is this angle, and it's 25 degrees. The age, okay, it's also given. It's 3.2. And again, they are asking for this distance. Okay, so here we have some information. Let's draw a triangle and put everything on the graph. Okay, So let's start from here. I have this triangle here, right? This triangle in here. Okay, so I have this. I will consider these two angles, but this time this angle is given alpha, which is 25. This one is 90, right? Okay, this is given. Remember, if you take a look at this figure B, it's 90 degree. Okay, so if this is 90, this is 25. So this one would be 90 minus 25, which is 65. Okay. And everything is in degree. So what if you want to use your calculator, remember guys, you have to put it in degree mode. We are not done yet. We have another piece of information. Here, the H, it's 3.2. What is the H? So H is this guy. Okay, so H is, first of all, is perpendicular on both sides, and it is 3.2. Okay, again, what I'll do, I just consider two triangles. This triangle in blue, and then this triangle in orange, and I consider this angle and this angle. Then I write what I write. I write the tangent of this angle in the blue triangle, and I calculate the tangent of this angle in the orange triangle. Okay, and remember, this is D1, this is D2. And if I add them together, then I will get then I will get the D. Okay, so here, let's start. So first of all, tangent of alpha, which is tangent of 25, okay? So here I go, tangent of alpha in which triangle? The triangle which is orange, 25. Okay, you put your calculator in the degree mode and then calculate tangent of alpha, which is 0.46, okay? This is the number you get from your calculator, but then tangent of this angle is this side over this side, right? So that would be 3.2 divided by D2, or that would be H divided by D2, but we know that the H in this question is 3.2, okay? So H is 3.2, and then D2 is missing, okay? So here you can calculate D2, right? And then D2 will be 0.46 divided by 3.2, which is 0.14. This is D2 in meter, but we're not done yet. We only are halfway through. Now we have to find D1. So let's consider the blue triangle. So I just do exactly the same thing. Tangent of 65 degree would be how much? Let's see. Tangent of 65 would be, okay, remember guys, again, I have to emphasize it again and again. So when you're doing this calculation, you have to make sure it's in degree mode, okay? So tangent of 65, it's 2.14, which is equal to H, okay? H over D1. And from here, I can simply solve for D1, and the D1 would be 0.66. We're not done yet. Remember, guys, now we have D1 and D2. So D would be D1 plus D2, which is 14.14 plus 66 is 0.8 meter. And remember, guys, whenever you find something, if you have the unit, you have to make sure you put the unit in front of it. Okay. Two scenarios so far, so we have to deal with the second one. Again, in the third scenario, you are given theta 1 and it's 24.3. You can see here the angle has got a decimal to it. That's fine. It doesn't make, it shouldn't bother you because you're using a calculator. And then the H here is also 1.85, so it's a decimal number. Again, it shouldn't be bothering you. Okay, so you have to just make sure you are good with your calculation. Please, especially in these type of question, try to do it over like at least 2 times. So let me draw the triangle and put down all the information here. So I have a right angle triangle again. Okay, so this is 90. And let's take a look at third scenario. Theta 1 is 24.3. 24.3, and then this one is 90, and then the h, okay, it's 1.81. So the h is 1.81. This is d1, this is d2, and then okay, so here if this is 24.3, this one would be 65.7, right? 65.7. Now I would have two independent triangles, right? Which two triangles? Orange one and then the blue one. Okay, so now let's start with tan with the orange one. Okay, so let's say we want to calculate the tan of this angle. Tan of 65.7 degree, that would be 2.21, which is equal to h over d2, and h is how much here? So your h here, it's given to you, it is 1.81, 1.81 over d2, and from here d2 would be 1.19, okay, 1.19. And now let's do exactly the same thing. We will calculate the tan of 24.3. Again, guys, put your calculator in degree mode, and then tan of this angle would be 0.45, which is equal to, again, h divided by d1. Excuse me. So h is 1.85 divided by d1. So from here d1 would be 0.24. Okay, and remember both of these. Okay, these are the units are meter, and then what I'll do here, I will add these two together. D is equal to d1 plus d2, which is 0.24 plus 119, which is 1.4. The final answer would be 4.3 meter. Okay, so that was the third scenario. Perfect. But we are not done yet. We still have another one. Okay, let's see. Let's see what about the fourth scenario. So here, this time the alpha is given. Take a look at this side. This time the alpha is given, which is 23.8, and then again the h is given, which is 2.75. As you could see from the third scenario, it doesn't matter if the h or one of the angles or two of the angles are decimal values. You should be okay. You should be totally fine with solving it. Okay, so it doesn't make any difference in your solution. So let me draw the angle, the triangle. So remember, guys, this is the alpha, this is the theta, this is 90 degree. Okay, how much is alpha? It's 23.8. Okay, 23.8. If this is 23.8, this one would be 66.2, and this is 90 degree. And remember, guys, the h is, it was given to you, 2.75. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So I will have two triangles, right? Orange, and then I would have the blue triangle. So I will do the tangent for this angle, and I'll do the tangent for this angle separately, and I get the value of d1 and d2 and add them together. So tangent of alpha, which would be tangent of 23.8 degree, okay, would be how much? Put it in your calculator, 0.44. And from here, you could say that I'm going to skip some of the steps because we already did a few. So from here, D2 would be 0.16. Okay. And from the other blue triangle, you have tangent of theta, which is tangent of 66.2, tangent of 66.2 degree, which would be 2.26. Okay, 2.26. And remember, guys, from here you can find D1, which is 0.82. Again, I forgot about the units. Remember? So I forgot about the units. You have D1 and D2. You just add them together to get the D, right? So your D would be D1 plus D2. And then these two together would be 98.98 meter. Okay, so once again, for those of you, D1 and this is D2, and the total thing from here to here is D. I hope this video gives you an idea how to solve these type of questions. I can't emphasize how important this is to watch this video and the one and the other one which I posted yesterday. The sample practice test will really be helpful because you will be seeing the same examples, the same type of question in the test with just different numbers. Okay. Please stay around for more questions on other topics. See you soon.